Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to giving you the inside scoop on what's happening on the lakes and waterways of our region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend. Your host, V&M Baits General Manager Kevin Jean and Camus Boats Pro Staffer Steve Graff. Two guys with years of tournament experience with Pro-Am circuits like ABA, BFLs, Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers willing to share their knowledge and to give you inside information to make you a better angler. So get ready to take some notes and learn exactly how anglers are catching the big stringers right here on Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome to Tackle Talk Live. I'm Camus Boats Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M General Manager Kevin Jean. Kevin, today we got the BFL champion from Toledo Bend. We got Daniel Bryant coming on.
Yeah, Stephen, one of the hottest anglers on Toledo Bend. And here's the reason we elected to go with Daniel Bryant on today's show. There's a lot of different directions to go with today's show, but Daniel, and so they finished fifth or sixth in the Despino tournament with over 20 2-3 weeks ago, I guess it was. Then he backs it up with a BFL win. So kind of just want to get from him, hey, the fish you're catching, is it the same group of fish? Is it the same style? Is it the same area? Are you catching post and pre-spawn? If somebody has been able to hold up somebody else other than, Cole Moore, Cody Pitt, Tater Reynolds finally.
Right.
Right. So just get a breakdown on, is he catching post, pre-spawn? And from my experience on Saturday, I feel like the fish made a really, really hard push to the bank on Saturday.
Yeah, you said the warm rain, you felt like kind of triggered a lot of fish to pull up, didn't it?
Yeah, I felt like it did. I practiced hard Thursday and Friday, and I had 3-4 schools located offshore I felt like I could catch a decent bag out of. Now, we were lucky enough, me and my partner had a little over 24 pounds. We was fortunate enough. We caught all of them on one spot, though. And it wasn't really a deep spot. It was 15 to 17 hard spot is basically what it was. And we caught them cranking. But when we left that spot, we had 21-ish pounds. We caught one time later on the day. But where I'm going with this is I expected to run other deep spots and maybe upgrade a few more times. But, Steve, when I tell you it was ghost town, like there was nothing else out there. I felt like all of them fish made a hard push up. And Thursday, it was sun shining, and I went looking sight fishing, trying to find some big ones on the bed. And we're in the areas I was in, I just seen a lot of males. I never saw any decent females up on the bed with them. And I know there was a 10 and a 9 caught off the bed on Saturday. So I feel like Friday evening, those fish made a hard push to the bank.
And once they make that commitment, a lot of times, no matter what the weather does, when they commit like that, they're coming in, they're going to do their thing. And
absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Like
fishing wasn't great Saturday. Like there were some good sacks weighed in, don't get me wrong. But overall, like you just didn't catch a whole lot of fish that what I'm hearing from different people. The fish got one thing on their mind. They're going to the bank to do their deal right now. And they are zoned in on that.
And that's kind of evident, and we'll get to it in here in just a little bit. We'll give you the BFL results. When you look at the results and you see, you can tell that it wasn't a great day for fishing, but the weather was good. I think that front coming through the night before and storm probably slowed them down a little bit as well. And but we'll get to that. We've also got Texas Team Trail results from Sam Rayburn. They had a good turnout over there. We got the Dylan Kyle Poche tournament on Toledo Bend. Have those results. Got Bass Champs from Lake Fork last Saturday, along with V&M results. Kevin's tournament last Sunday over at Toledo Bend. And we've got lake reports, upcoming April tournaments, and lots more today on Tackle Talk Live. Let's take a short break. When we return, we'll talk with the BFL Toledo Bend champion, Daniel Bryant. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your healthcare needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6, just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. For all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry two of the best fishing boats on the market from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins, as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santone, Spro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49, or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning us in today. This segment presented by Toledo Health, The Boat Shop, and 3J's Four-Way, home of Cypress Knee Outdoors. Appreciate all you guys. And if you're on your way up from South Louisiana, Lafayette area, and headed for Toledo Bend, well, I don't know. Do y'all come I-49, Kevin, or do they? Yeah, come I-49. Exit 127 right there, coming into Natchitoches. And stop off at Cypress Knee Outdoors, pick you up whatever you need. Got a great selection of tackle and all you would ever need to fish Toledo Bend. So on the phone, on the boat, not the Boat Shop, the Tackle Talk Live hotline, we've got Daniel Bryant. Daniel was the winner of the BFL at Toledo Bend out of Sam McGill Park. And Daniel, man, congratulations. Appreciate you coming on with us today. And we're not going to try to ask you too many difficult questions, but we just kind of want to know how you did it. First of all, I thought the turnout was a little low for a BFL, but when you look at everything going on in the area, that really kind of hurt the numbers, I think, for the BFL.
Oh, yeah.
And
they
Daniel,
had a few.
Sorry, Daniel, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. But here's why, and talking before you came on, Daniel, this is what, I kind of, we had a lot of different directions to go with this show this week. You got the Texas Team Show, you got the post-state tournament champion, and BFL, so on and so forth, V&M tournament guys, winners. But we really wanted to bring you on the show because you guys finished, what y'all finished in the Despino here 2 or 3 weeks ago? 5th?
We came out 8th.
8th. But what did you have? What was your weight?
We had 2045.
2045.
We had yeah. We had an 8-pounder to go with it.
Right. And then you win the BFL today. So the reason we went with you is we really want to go, and there's a lot of tournaments coming up, guys, and Daniel and his partners and everybody, there's a lot of big tournaments coming up to Toledo Bend, so we're not going to pry too much into this. But I guess the thing I want to ask is, man, are you catching, is this an area? Is this a type bait, or are you catching like pre-spawner, post-spawns coming and going? I mean, y'all are obviously on a good group of fish. Just kind of break down what y'all have figured out. Is it just an area? Is it a technique? Or like I said, is it something y'all are doing for pre-spawn? Kind of break that down for us.
It's an area. It's really like one little ditch, and we're just kind of just hit it for a little bit and leave it and then come back and they've reloaded. I think it's fish pushing back to spawn. It's just a little stopping point for them. Kind of the fish that we've been kind of catching have been 2 weeks ago for the Despino. They were nice and healthy looking fish, and now they're kind of starting to look a little beat up, but like they've been trying to spawn. But I think it's just all fish kind of pushing in to go spawn.
Now, Daniel, is this an area you have a lot
point.
Is this an area you and your partner had a lot of history with over the years? Is something did you find this spot in practice before this tournament?
It's kind of a historical area. We fished it before, and it's one of those areas that if they're there, they're there. If they're not, it's gonna burn you. I was actually leaving it in practice for this tournament, and I just happened to make a cast out and caught a 3-pounder, and I said, okay, I'll just put that in the back of my head and just went on. And so I didn't really know if they were there or if they had moved on. So we just kind of, like for the BFL, I just went in there, and the first fish was a 279 on my scale, and it was like quick. So I said, okay, they're still here. So we just kind of settled down and bounced around a little bit throughout the day, but we just kept kind of coming back to that ditch, and there was one here, one there, and I had that. I caught a 6-pounder at 8:30, and then later in the day, afternoon, I went back and I made almost the same cast and caught that 7.7.
Gotcha. So did all the fish you weighed? All the fish you weighed in the BFL and the Despino, did they come off of that ditch?
Yeah, every single one.
Gotcha. I got you. So it's holding pre and post spawn pretty well, I guess, moving in and out of a spawning pocket. So has it been loaded? I mean, has it been loaded the whole time? I mean, from the Despino, or as y'all have hit it, it's kind of fish just coming and going, and and as you're catching them as they're going up, then you catch them as they come out, or has it just been loaded the whole time?
I think it's just been loaded the whole time. We didn't go back in there after the Despino. I was kind of even wondering if I should even go back and hit it for the BFL, but after you finish like that, it's like, man, I kind of got to go check it out.
Yeah.
To see if I need to relocate them or if they're still there. And I think it's a whole nother group of fish that moved in there.
Yeah, it's supposed to. You had the full moon coming in this week. There's probably some fish staging right now, getting ready to pull up again with this next full moon. So you're right. And when you find one of those spots that reloads, boy, I tell you what, that's when you know you got a good spot, when that thing just reloads every time you go back to it, and you catch one or two good ones out of it. And now, is this an area too, Daniel, that the wind can mess you up? I mean, if the wind kicks up, can it mess you up?
If it's too high, it will. But yeah. I think the more wind that you get in this area, I think it actually helps it a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
It kind of pushes the bait around and stuff.
Yeah. How many times throughout Saturday did you have to leave it and come back to it to get bit?
Oh, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So how many times you called?
I called twice.
Twice. Okay. So you were catching good ones pretty much the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, we had I called that my smallest fish was a 224 on my scale. And I kept telling my co-angler, I need one more good one. I need one more good one to feel like I have a top 5. Because I thought it was going to be 30 pounds win. And I said, so I told my co-anglers, let's go back to that where I caught that 6 this morning. We're gonna fish that a little bit, but I said we're gonna have to go soon. And we pulled up there, made the cast, and I caught that 7.7, which called out a 224. So that put me up. That put me up into 22 pounds.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call there. That's
yeah. I thought I was going to need one more, but
yeah. I mean, it not only did it cull, it won it for you. I mean, let's just be honest here. You catch that 7, because without the 7, you have 17 or so.
It was 17 something. Yeah.
Yeah, second place was 18. So no doubt that fish won it for you. So a good decision going back. How was the rest of your practice? I know you practice a lot outside of that area. Kind of tell us how the rest of your practice was and kind of what you saw, this week. Because I fished this weekend too, and man, I just feel like the fish made a hard push to the bank on overnight, Friday night.
Oh, they definitely did. They started that push on Friday. Really, I think they started it like Thursday afternoon. I went to another area and practiced Friday, and it just wasn't happening. I caught one fish. I had one bite. That was it, and it hit it at the boat. And I said, man, I gotta go check something else out. So I went way down south just to see, and I wound up getting on some fish down there, and it just kind of, it was cloudy. That front was kind of starting to push through. So I saw 3 fish on a bed, and they weren't really ready. You could tell they were kind of courting. They were doing the rolling, and I said, and that's the only way I saw them, was just because I happened to come by and I saw them one roll over on the side. And
Friday was bad cloudy. I couldn't see anything Friday.
Oh yeah, that's the only way I saw those fish. And I would get out and I was live scoping the grass in that 6 to 11 feet down there, and I could see the fish sitting down there. And I had one probably an 8+, I'm thinking. I saw it on the live scope. I threw a jerk bait to it, and she just wouldn't even look at it. So I put I had the chopstick and slipped it in there and let it go down, and she ate it. So I was kind of holding her. She wouldn't let it go. So I said, well, I'm going to set the hook on this one. So I can't really do anything. I don't want her to swallow it. And when I set the hook, she had just grabbed the tail of it. So I said, I just kind of thought about it. I said, I need to definitely keep this spot in mind. And I never even went back to it.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time.
Yeah, when you're spread out like that, it's tough. It makes it tough, especially this time of year when you got to have a bait in the water.
Daniel, overall, the weights were pretty low. I mean, what do you attribute that to? Did a lot of guys get messed up with the Friday night storms and that came through, and did that mess up some people?
I think a lot of it had to do with those fish making that hard push to the bank. They didn't expect it. I know some of the deep guys out there that I've talked to that were in the BFL, and even some of them that were in the Poche tournament, they were talking like they were on some big fish out deep. And when I saw the 18 pounds, I said, I was thinking, maybe those fish pushed to the bank, and I've gotten to know Tater Reynolds pretty good. I fished with him last year in one of the BFLs. I was a co-angler, and we kind of kept in touch since. And I knew that if they were biting deep, he was going to catch them. And when he came in with the 18-10, I'd asked him, and he said, "Man, they were gone." He said everything that I had found was gone.
Yeah.
So I think those fish just made that hard push to the bank over the day and a half, really overnight, because it didn't get as cold as they said it was going to get.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It was a warm rain too.
Yeah.
So the water temperature actually came up in the area I was fishing from 62 on Thursday to Saturday. It was 65 and 66.
Yeah.
In the morning.
It did mine as well.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel,
so
man, congrats on the win. I know you've been working on it for a while. Steve is kind of like you did. He started out as a co-angler. He's worked his way up, especially over the last couple of years, and then jumps on the boater side and wins one on the boater side. So Daniel, you've done it the right way, man. Congrats. And I know you've been waiting a long time for this.
Yeah, it feels good, man. It really does. It's one of those things. It's when it's your time, and I guess this past Saturday was my time.
Yeah, when it's your time, you can't screw it up.
Exactly. That's why I've said that for a long time. If it's meant to be, you can't screw it up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, Daniel, man, again, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate you, and good luck the rest of the year.
Oh, thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Daniel Bryant, winner of the BFL out of San Miguel on Toledo Bend. And again, they had about, I think I added up 94 to 98 teams. I think is what I saw when I looked at the standings. And so low numbers for a BFL. I know at Rayburn they had 200 plus, I think.
Yeah, that post chat. Well, so the problem with the BFL is, man, it was a horrible day for the BFL because those 90 plus guys are probably the guys that's going to fish it all year long. Right. So you don't get the guys like myself. I would have fished the BFL if the post shade tournament wouldn't have been going on.
Right.
So with my partner, and I can go down the list of guys that would have fished the BFL if there would have been a tournament.
Texas Team Trail pulled a lot of guys probably away.
Texas Team Trail as well going on. So bad weekend for the BFL. Still, I mean, for 100 boats, for everything that's going on, still think it was a good draw for them. But the post shade tournament on the same lake had 260 boats.
Yeah.
Steve, when I say there was a lot of boats on the water, there was a lot of boats on the water.
I can only imagine.
And not only the tournament boats, it was a beautiful weekend in March on Toledo Bend where the wind wasn't swirling. People could go fishing and enjoy themselves.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take one more quick break. And when we return, we're going to wrap up Texas Team Trail and Rayburn Bass Champs. We'll actually give you the final results of the BFL as well. Bass Champs on Lake Fork. Kevin's got the V&M and post-shade results. And we'll have all that and much more. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. This segment presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, and the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas. 2 locations, one in Nacogdoches and one on the shores of Sam Rayburn and Broadus, Texas, right there. And if you need some good boat insurance, maybe you need some insurance for your lake camp, whatever you got over there, hey, check them out. Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, they'll take good care of you. All right, real quick, Kevin, let's see here. I guess let me start out. I guess I'll just go down the BFL results real quick. Daniel Bryant, of course, who we just had on, had 22.10. He won $4,509. That was a $4,500 win for him. That's good. Congratulations again, Daniel. Tater Reynolds finished second. Tater, no stranger to taking home big checks. He had 18.11 and took home a little over $1,800, right at $1,900. Christopher Pickett finished third. He had 18.06. Trent Manuel was fourth with 18.01. Ernie Hildebrand was fifth with 17.03. Dominic Watley was sixth with 15.12. Sieg Kilby was seventh with 14.11. John Despino, who we all know, was eighth with 14.09. John Ellender was ninth with 14.05. And rounding out the top 10, Calvin Bogan was 10th with 13.14. The last place check was 18th place, and that was Travis Franks with 11.15. So that wraps up the Phoenix Bass Fishing League BFL on Sam Rayburn. Kevin, you got the post-shave results?
I do. So post-shave results, 260 boats, I think a little over 260 boats on Toledo Bend Saturday. First place, Brent Broussard and Troy Kuhn. They had 29 pounds, 10 ounces with a 1028 big fish. They brought home a little over $15,000. So $15,000 guaranteed for first place. So congratulations to those guys. Second place, Jeff Holder, Terry Burgart was 24.92. Third place, Jordan Hollingsworth and Caleb Hollingsworth had 24.72. Fourth place, Cornelius Williams and William Holt had 24.44. And then fifth place was myself and Travis Merritt had 24.13. Sixth place, Trey Morgan, John Kennedy, 22.16. Seventh place, Ty Humphreys, Dean Lewis was 22.01. It kind of goes 21, 21, 20. 10th place was 21.51. They had 11 bags over 20. Big Fish was right there from Natchez, Stephen Nowicki and Jason Nowicki with a 10.64 that they had caught off a bed. I talked to him. They caught that one off the bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know what got a check here, but because I think they played 30-something places.
Well, they paid out. Bert told me this morning they paid out $47,600 payback to the fishermen.
Right.
That's incredible. I mean, Kevin, you and I both know this situation from the very beginning, and I'm telling you right now, it's amazing what this tournament has turned into. A lot of hard work by Shelley and Bert and some other people that have volunteered to help them out in these situations. I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing to me what they have done, not only to raise money for the Diddle and Kyle Poche, but also for the Northwestern State Fishing Team at NSU there. And congratulations, Bert and Shelley, once again. Job well done.
And Steve, everybody sees the results. Let me tell you, the weigh-in, there were some people at that dude. There was people everywhere. It looked like an Elite Series weigh-in as far as the amount of people that was watching the weigh-in. They did a great job. They had a little hiccup with some TV monitor situation. Took a little while, but nothing they can control. Did a great job. Steve, everybody sees the outcome. And let me tell you, if somebody has done a few tournaments, it's hard to do, especially a tournament of that size. It's hard to put together. It's hard to market. And Bert and Shelley do an absolute awesome job at promoting. They promote year-round. He's already got everything up for next year's tournament. That's a year away. But hats off to them. They do an absolute awesome job.
As a guy that's had the honor and the privilege of being the MC for those weigh-ins 2 times, and just the last 3 years, it's worked out where I haven't been available, and I hate that because I love doing that for them, and I just like going to that tournament. It's competitive, Kevin, but yet it's pretty laid back. I mean, there's a lot of good people there and a lot of good father-son teams. You know, it's just a different kind of event that and I know I've had some pro guides and stuff like that. Man, I wish they'd let it know. That's not what this tournament's about. I'm sorry. There's other things for you guys to go fish.
So, but let me ask you that, Steve. Let's go there. I wasn't going there, but let's go there.
Okay.
No guides are allowed. If you've guided like in the last 90 days.
Right.
Is that some of why he has turned out he has?
I think it is. I think when guys know that they're having to compete against a guy that lives on the water every single day of the week and they're guiding full time, the odds of you beating people like that and you're just a weekend warrior, I really think the odds are stacked against you. I think that's why people show up for this event. They know those guys aren't going to be in it. And I think if you paid a $2,500 entry fee or more, I think you're excluded as well from the pro side if you were a pro. I just think you target the weekend more. This may be the only tournament some of these guys fish all year.
No, it absolutely is. It 100% is.
I think that's what is the attraction. I think that's what makes it great. It keeps it a lower level of anglers that, I say lower level, some of them guys are just as good a stick as anybody out there. But still, that's why the numbers are there. And that's what, when we all got involved in the beginning, we wanted it to grow. And I really felt like when we helped Burton make that decision to keep the guides off of it, keep pro level guys out of it, I think that was a game changer. And I think that's one reason it's so popular.
Well, he's going to have a great tournament no matter what, just because of the calls. And again, because of how much work and effort they put into it. There's signs everywhere. You go to Toledo Town, there's banners that hang for 6 or 7 months at a time. So they're going to have a good turnout no matter what, just because of the effort they put into it. I look for it next year to hit 300 boats. I really do. I expect him to hit 300 because if the BFL, which I hope they do, I hope they change theirs that date. They've been on the same date with the Poche. Steve, you take the BFL off that day on Toledo Bend, he hits 300 boats.
Oh, no doubt. I totally agree with that. And it's a shame that and we all know these tournament directors, God bless them. I'm telling you, I would hate to know I had to coordinate tournaments around all these other deals. It'd be a freaking nightmare to plan an event. But Burt's had this weekend for how many years? Since the very beginning.
From day one. That was what, the 7th annual?
Yeah.
So 7 years he's had that weekend.
Exactly. And and thank you to Toledo Bend, Cypress Bend Park. You know, they reserved that date for him. He has that date as long as he wants it a year in advance. That date will always be his until he decides he don't want it anymore. And so congratulations again. Now moving over to Sam Rayburn, the Texas Team Trail, which is just like Bass Champs, one of the most popular team trails in America. Corey Rambo, who we know we've had on the show, Rusty Clark, they had 5 fish for 21.10. Kevin, a little surprised at the weights from Rayburn still. Derek Mundy, Jason Bonds was second with 21.05. Shane Campbell, Wyatt Frankins was third with 20.5. Henry Creel and Jason Griffin, they had 5 fish for 19.12. Brian Brown, Robert Anderson, they were fifth with 19.10. Jeff Bridges and Jerome Cope were sixth with 19.02. Tight weights. 7th place was Seth for Mannix and Robert Kettner. They were 7th with 5 fish for 18.09. 8th place, Ben Morton, Connor Wisnat were 8th with 17.08. 9th was Adam Dunn, Shelby Shaw with 17.04. And rounding out the top 10, Chris Wilson and Brian Lohr. They were 10th with 16.14. Just trying to look down the list here. Russell Cecil and Todd Castledine actually were 15th with 16.03. Clayton Bullware, Chris McCall were 16th with 16.01. So some really good sticks, of course. Great teams are in this event and had a great turn. I'm trying to see what the last place check was. 23rd. It took 15 pounds even to get that 5th place, to get that last check, and of 100, looks like $135. I thought they had more than that, but anyway. So again, congratulations to all these guys. Once again, another job well done by Texas Team Trail. There's just so many things going on, Kevin. Every weekend. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh no, there is. All right, so 21 pounds wins it. I think it's just going through that mid-March. Fish are running to the bank, trying to spawn. The fish are coming off the spawn and, kind of in that lull right now. They're still sick to their stomach. Fish are not they're not feeding up yet. So I think we're just going through that little lull right now, especially on Sam Rayburn, more so than Toledo Bend. I think Sam Rayburn's a little further along than Toledo Bend is, in my opinion, just being on both lakes a little bit. So, kind of was shocked to see the weights of that, but it still took 15 pounds to get a check. There was a lot of 15 to 20 pound bags.
Right.
Exactly. Like. There were several of those. Just no absolute giant sacks over there right now.
And you basically perceived those were bank fish. Those were fish that pulled up, and you were going chow, picking up 2.5 pounders, spinner bait, flipping, whatever you were doing. Kevin, your V&M tournament, go over there. I know weather had an impact on your deal, and because it turned kind of ugly Sunday again.
It did. It got ugly. We were trying everything we could do to hold down the fort there at Cypress Bend with Outlaw Outdoors and their crew, and we had everything set up, man. It was all, everything perfect, and all of a sudden the storm blew through, and there was stuff going everywhere. It got rough on Toledo Bend on Sunday, but still break through it. We still had some good sacks weighed in. Let's see here. Phil Ryder and Blake Carrier had 1911. They won the whole thing. They won a little over $2,000. Second place was Stu Stover and Alex Buller. They had 1894. Third place, John Orr, Cody Beasley. They had 1843. Fourth place, Ryan Pinkston and Scooter Clark had 1752. And fifth place, Ty Humphreys and Dean Lewis had 1731. I just want to say thanks to everybody that came out to fish it. Weather was not perfect. So I do think we still had a decent turnout, even though with the weather. But I just want to say thanks to everybody that came out and fished it with us. First time being back on Toledo Bend in 6 or 7 years. So thanks for the support. Thanks for everybody that came out and fished with us.
Also, we got one more tournament result. Bass Champs was at Lake Fork. I know I've had a lot of people curious as to, Lake Fork back to itself again. Actually, James Adams from Manny, Louisiana, won the tournament with a 9.64. He won a 2023 Skeeter Z200 Yamaha show. It was Skeeter built trailer, and he won $15,000 for first place. And so Brandon Potter from Decatur, Texas, had an 838. Those were the two big fish, and then it got down to who had the biggest under. Don Pennick from Alba, Texas, right there local, had 256. And he had also $15,000 payday for the largest under. Kurt Culbertson was a 242. Grand Prairie, Texas native Jason May had a 233. And just looking on down now, just gets on into the, ounces separate. Literally 2 pounds and ounces separate. Good gosh, all the way. It's incredible. I bet you the top 30 were all 2 pounders between 2 pounds and 3 pounds. It's insane. Oh, it's crazy. And I'm looking at the list here. I'll just keep thinking I'm gonna run out of 2 something. There's at least 30 places they paid that were tights were that weight, were that tight. And but anyway, had a great turnout. They did have I said great turnout. They had 85 show up for that particular tournament. Again, it gets back to the same thing we've talked about in the past, Kevin. It's just so many circuits now. Guys are having to make choices, and they're missing tournaments they love to fish, and it just ain't enough weekends in a month, dude. I mean, this is that simple.
No, not especially in East Texas. East Texas, there's something. There's always something. Steve, shout out first of all to Bass Cash Bass. They paid the big bass of the V&M tournament. It's $500. Caden Elkins won it with a 6-pounder. I forgot to mention that a while ago. Funny story, the Poche tournament on Saturday, a friend of mine, Scott McClellan, him and Jacob Park fished the Poche tournament. He had a fish on the bed, Steve, okay? He could see the Bass Cash Bash tag on the fish.
No. Really?
And he said, man, we didn't have a good sack. We he said we had 10 pounds, and it was kind of getting late in the day. He said we knew we probably wasn't going. It would take a lot for us to cast a check. He said I wanted to sit there and catch that tag. He said it took him an hour and a half. Fish, I think it looked to be 2.5 pounds or so. He showed me the picture of it. But he finally caught it and won the $1,500 from Bass Cash Bash for catching the tag fish. But how funny would that be to sit there and look at $1,500 that's 4 feet away from me, and knowing you got to get that fish to bite to win
Yeah.
that money. But that was pretty cool story from.
That is cool. That is cool. And by the way, I've got my Bass Cash Bass shirt on. Hey, make sure you sign up, guys. Do not forget, Caddo Lake and Toledo Bend are underway now.
Yep.
And so if you're headed to those bodies of water, make sure you sign up because you're going to lose out on a lot of money. But anyway, lake levels, Rayburn, 164.92. It's up 6.24 inches over pool. So it's above pool right now. 10-day gain has been 6.6 inches. It's come up pretty hard in the last 10 days. 24-hour gain's been 0.24. Toledo Bend, 169.82. It's a difference of, it's 2.18 feet low. 10-day loss has been, it's lost 4.92 inches in the last 10 days. 24-hour gain has been 1.44 inches. So it was losing now. It looks like it's coming back up in the last 24 hours. And we've got some showers coming through from time to time. Lake Fork, a lot of guys still ask about what's going on at Fork. 401.48. It's low, 1.52 feet. So Lake Fork is back to where full pool almost, close to it anyway. It's not 5 or 6 feet low like it's been a being. 10-day gain's been 0.84 inches. 24-hour gain's been 0.24 inches as well. So, Kevin, we got some April tournaments coming up. Give us the first two.
We do April 15th, APA Open Series number 3, Southeast Texas Division. Also April 15th, the Outlaw Outdoors Team Series number 3, right there at Sam Rayburn. Steve, there is a tournament this coming weekend on Toledo Bend. Go ahead and go through the next couple. Let me pull out the one this weekend.
April 15th and 16th is the Brandon Belt Lake Palestine tournament. I'm sure they'll have a great turnout for that. Lake Palestine is a great fishery. I love fishing there. April 22nd is the BFL on Lake of the Pines. Another great body of water that I'm looking forward to going to myself for the Solo 150 near the end of April. Also April 22nd, Texas Team Trail will be on Lake Ray Roberts. So it seems like the BFL and Texas Team Trail, collide in every tournament now. It seems
they went the same schedule there. So Steve, this weekend, April 1st, is the second annual Trey Buford Memorial Bass Tournament out of San Miguel. Outlaw Outdoors is putting that tournament on. They're guaranteeing first place $10,000.
Oh, okay.
This weekend out of San Miguel, you can go to the Outlaw Outdoors website. You can go to the Facebook page to check out that tournament this weekend on Toledo Bend.
Also,
go ahead. I was going to say the Open is this coming up in April on Toledo Bend as well. I want to say it starts, April 13th, the BASS Open on Toledo Bend. I think them guys can start practice either on the 8th or the 9th of April right there on Toledo Bend. So we will have the Bassmaster Open coming as well.
Glad to see that coming back to the Bend. That's just good. That's great for Toledo Bend. Great for the area. We need that over there. So also sign up for the Southwest Division Solo 150 Tour event number 2. Be Lake of the Pines, April 28th, 29th. Deadline to enter is the Friday before the tournament. April 21st is the last day to get in that event at 5. Got to be in by 5 o'clock that evening. Entry is $600 for the 2-day event. Also, special recognition. The ABA Ray Scott National Championship will take place on Red River starting this next week, April 5th through the 8th, on the high and mighty Red River out of Red River South Marina, just south of Bossier. Daily weigh-in start at 3 o'clock. Practice starts this coming Saturday at Safe Daylight. I will be participating in that event. Kevin Lazion will be in this event. Walt Stevens will be in this event, as well as Aaron Johnson, AJ. I know all 4 of us from this region. I think we're the only guys that qualified from this area. So we'll all be in that event. Looking forward to people coming out and watching the weigh in. And hopefully us local guys will do good.
Yeah, hopefully the water comes down for y'all too.
Hopefully the water comes down. I just don't want to be dodging floaters. That's my deal. But anyway, looking forward to it. So what you got? Anything else?
I think that wraps us up. I think that's all I have on my list.
We covered a lot today, man, and we appreciate everybody tuning us in. Can't say thank you enough, and look forward. And again, we appreciate every time any one of y'all come up to me or Kevin at an event and just say, hey, love the show, whatever it is. If you got a complaint or don't like something, let us know what it is. And we might listen and we might correct it. But otherwise, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We love what we do. We enjoy it. And hopefully you get something out of it each and every time you watch our program. So thank you for tuning us in. Please check us out on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or podcast. If you'd like to become a member of our sponsorship team, please message us on our Facebook page. Kevin will make sure he gets a packet out to you, explaining all the information, how you can become a part of our sponsorship family. For Kevin Jean, yours truly, Steve Graff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live.